And I would like to ask one of our friends, Miss Parastoo, and one of the human rights and a student of the international science and European, and she was previously working in the United UNHCR, and she would talk about the forced marriage to make a peace between the family. On the name of the mothers that all their life they were thinking and worried about their daughters to get married and to have a normal life. And I would like to thank you, the non-organizational Sudwind and the people who organized this meeting. Thank you. I would like to tell you about the people, girls in the society, that their rights were violated in every sense that you can imagine. They do not have even the minimum right for even for the body. Well, they use them as a section, they call it the khunbas, or stop the violation between the family. Khunbas, or the local people would call it khimbas, is one of the tradition in the region in Kokiluya and Buyur Ahmed in Iran, that they use this khimbas or forced marriage. They use it to stop the fighting with the family and tribes. Between that local people, Bakhtiari, there would be some problems or fighting between the two tribes, and then they were killed or hurt many people. Those killings would depart those families and tribes from each other, and then they use this sort of marriage, arranging marriage, to stop the revenge between them. And when this killing would continue for the long period, to stop this killing and revenge from each other, the oldest from the old tribe, they come together to make a peace between the two family. What they do, usually one of the family or tribe that who committed a crime, to arrange the marriage of that to the victim's family, son or father or one of the relative of that tribe or that family. So this conflict between them would end it, and they make a peace and come together. For this sort of marriage, forced marriage, they call it khumbas or stop bloodshed. This girl is always in that situation, which always under pressure and violence of the family that she joined them. Those girls, they do not have a right to divorce, and they became a catchphrase between them. When do you accept the khumbas or marriage for making peace? They had a sort of agreement. The both sides agreed that this the revenge or violation between them ended and make a peace. Khumbas or marriage for the peace is not only that there in the region, the Kokelaya or Pyramid, will happen in the other regions in Sistan, Balochistan, Karhel Ahmed, چهارمین بختیاری, Elam, Kurdistan, Kermanshah, well up to the region of the Fars and Golestan and the Khuzestans. However, fortunately there are less now, but still continue. This tradition would show itself in two ways in Iran's regions. At the end of this conflict between the families or tribes, to compensate the blood from the victim, but in some occasion in Khuzestan, well, for the compensate for the victims, they would give 4 women. However, therefore, with these traditions that they are living in the tribes, unfortunately, this tradition we can see. In fact, they use women as the tools of the making peace between them. I am in the name of the girl that I came from that region, that I have personal experience, that I can give you my view, that one of the more effective is that shaped this home-based marriage or marriage for the peace that caused a lot of problems from the past and up to now that would affect on the tribes, and one of the most important is to sort the problem for the water conflict there. And people in the region in our Ashwaya tribe, when they do the farming, and by knowing the water is scarce and there is a less, and that is one of the problems and the battles and fights that the men mostly they have over the water, but at the end by compensated one woman to make a peace. Okay. Another matter that I would like to mention, the age of the girl in Iran. Unfortunately, there isn't any limitation of the age. But however, from 1981, to get the permission for the very young girl, they have to get the permission from the court. Before that, to realize it, what is good for girl, it comes to the parent of the girl. Unfortunately, up to date, there isn't any punishment for the parent that didn't committed this law or didn't submit the law. Before, it was the marriage was 15 years for the girl, and for boys were 18. And at the moment, is the girl started from the 13 and boys 15. Therefore, under 13 was forbidden. But when we look at the record, 90% of this record shows the girls. However, the research shows the marriage for very young girl underage hasn't been recorded because in the villages they don't have an official marriage. So we don't have any record of that. However, according to the record of the 2013, many managers ended the divorce. 7,000. Every year between 800 years between 10 to 14 and 15,000 girls between 15 to 19 had a divorce. The being poor family and not educated, it was one of the reasons for this breakdown the family. The mostly part, they pay some money to the girl's family, they're usually poor, so to accept the marriage. Where we can see the problem is that we have in the society that we have a escaping girl, lack of the education, and the honor killing consists of this ill tradition. The last news that we have from the different regions in Iran, they were asked to khumbas or marriage for the peace. They put it as a consequence of the cultural heritage. Khumbas or marriage for the peace is not the honoring marriage, that we cannot respect that. There are many parts that they want to record it, the khumbas or peaceful marriage. The 4 regions, almost 300 women rights activists and human rights, they record their concern regarding this law. They announce and have a statement to have the khumbas or the soft marriage is the meaning for the society. The khumbas is nothing can compare to the violated the women's right. It seems that the first considered as a marriage, but in fact it is the compensation for pain between the war. But in fact, a woman became a compensation to pay to the victim's family that usually younger would marry to the very old man. With this marriage, she would be condemned to non-respecting marriage, and because is a part of the blood money or paying compensation, she has no right to divorce. Unfortunately, the people who advocate this marriage were counted as one of the most important tradition, and they try to present this ill tradition as a method of the peace and make a harmony between the tribes. And pronounce it as a way to make a peace and harmony. However, this ill tradition would not recognize the women's right, and the women in her life cannot be accepted خونبست or peaceful life is not legally, or there isn't in the law, how they can put it as a cultural heritage of the Iranian nation, or they call it as a peaceful, cultural peaceful methods to stop the killing or revenge between the two tribes or two families. Cannot be a feeling of the woman and the life of the young woman, put it on that line. However, we have to put the end on the cultural revenge or violation instead of the having the ill tradition. We cannot have it as a compensation, painting as a lawful tradition. However, the people to implement a law, however, the people implement a law, they are in violation of the women's rights. To make a peace, it's not possible to accept the destroying the one person's life. The way to go is to advocate a peace and law-abiding. I would like to end it to my voice that to say how they would affect this khumbas, who caused another problem, and killing. This killing came where the mention is one of the that marriage, and one of the girl who married in this tradition, she couldn't divorce and hasn't no way to go out from that marriage. She decided to get the help from the others, and she killed the lover of her husband and burned the body. After the seizure of the crime scene, they find it that the reason it happened because of the jealousy, that she found it out that her husband had a relation with another. The woman admit this crime, and she mentioned it because she found it out that relationship, and it was 2 years ago. I was in that ill tradition, Khumbas was married to that man. My father told me that I had to marry to the other part so we can stop this bloodshed between the two tribes. All these years between the conflict between the other tribes and the other one, 22 people were killed, and my father wanted to put the end this bloodshed, so he forced me to marry it too. However, I wasn't happy with marriage. I tried to keep and be faithful in this marriage. I realized that my husband had a relation with another girl. My husband, before my marriage, had a relation with that girl. In fact, my husband didn't love me and didn't want to marry me. However, I was bear the pain, and then I realized it. The victim, to make my pain more, took my young sister and staged the rape or danger, rape, and took my younger sister out to be raped or to dishonor me and my family. All this conflict, my mother-in-law were thinking that my mother-in-law promised that would divorce me, and this divorce would make my family shame. And this is took my mind, and I couldn't. I decided to take a revenge. Well, I stayed with a friend, and we decided to take the woman to somewhere and make him to have a relation with that one, and then take that relation, and then the friend that was supposed to make a sexual relation, and then he accepted with the one condition that I have a sex with that man. And then, I had that. I took the girl to my home to talk to, and then the young man and the other woman from the family who were assisting me, and that argument with them, I told them I will tell everyone that what they have. I asked them they have to. They accepted. And the young man suffocated her and killed that young girl. And we decided to dispose the body at the night. When my husband came, I told him that we need something, that he had to go for shopping. When he left it, I burned the house, and then I escaped too. When police came, and I was frightened, escaped for a while, and then police arrested her, and during the interrogation she admitted and says that she was alone and herself killed that young girl. The court condemned her to death. However, Maryam's father and the family denounced her and didn't come to see her. And then after a while, her brother went to see her in the jail and took the pistol and shot her. And then they took her to the hospital, and after several hours surgery, she was safe. But the victim's family asked for revenge and wants to be executed. Thank you very much.